Okay, lovely. Thank you for joining and hopping on. I know all of you have done yoga with me before, so I will skip on the announcements. The animals are here like usual. They might do something crazy. I did just want to show a pose before we begin because I'm going to offer it in the practice, and you do it from downward facing dog. So I figured I'll show you guys first so that if you want to do it, you're not in downward facing dog, like looking up at the computer screen, trying to figure out what the hell I'm saying. So from downward facing dog, it's called wild thing or flip dog. And you definitely don't have to do this, it's just an option. So from downward facing dog, when I cue this, you're welcome to stay in down dog. But to continue, we would lift a leg for three-legged dog, still pressing the chest back towards the thigh, and my right heel is still working its way down towards the ground, still engaging through the hands. And then we start to bend the knee, so this left hip is starting to roll over the right. Like if I glance under my right armpit, I can see my left foot. And then to flip dog, we're gonna roll onto the pinky edge side of our right foot, and the left toes come to the floor. This right leg stays straight, and we lift the left arm up and back. And it's such a perfect name called Wild Thing. Feels great. So, and then we just roll right on back to down dog. So I will offer that. And at any point through down dog, if we're in three-legged dog, if you want to take that, that's always an option. Okay, Daddy, you okay? You popped his head up. Okay, why don't we get started in a comfortable seated position like we always do. And we will kind of drop in and dial in and check in with ourselves. So let yourself melt and let go any to-do list or worries or things you need to do before the night is over. Let them go for the next 45 minutes and allow yourself to fully be in your practice. So we're light through the elbows, light through the fingertips, and the muscles of the face are very relaxed. We're sitting up nice and tall. And we're breathing, so whatever breath works best for you. Long inhales through the nose, maybe sealing at the top for a couple seconds, then long exhales out through the mouth, maybe even pausing there for a second or two before that next inhale through the nose. You notice the rise and fall of the chest. And notice how a few deep breaths can really work some magic here. And as we begin to focus in on the breath, we really begin to find ourselves feeling still and centered. And at any point throughout this practice or any practice, you're always welcome to come back to a comfortable seated position. Know that the breath is always there for you as a tool. And we'll do 3 more breaths. And the last one here, full deep inhale, maybe for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 2. Slow exhale out through the mouth. And then gently opening the eyes up. Let's start to just move the upper body in some circles. And the hands can stay just gently resting on the knees. And if you feel a nice good spot where you're feeling a nice stretch, feel free to stay there. And so there's no right or wrong way to do these movements. It's just with your breath and whatever feels good for you. And finding yourself back to a more still place, sitting up nice and tall. We'll come into seated cat-cow. So hands are on the knees. We'll inhale like there's a string attached to the heart. Gently lifts up. The spine is now arching a bit. The gaze is up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, curl the spine, chin towards the chest. Inhale, breath lifts the heart up. And exhale, hook that belly button in towards the spine and tuck the chin. And a few more times. Inhale, heart lifts, collarbone is nice and wide. And exhale, round your spine. And one more time. Big inhale, lift the heart up, the shoulders pull away from the ears. And exhale, round the spine, hug the chin towards the chest. And then sitting back up nice and tall. Why don't we take a full deep breath in and reach the arms up high towards the ceiling. And go ahead and interlace the fingertips. Exhale, flip and press the palms up to the ceiling. Nice stretch through the arms. And rock from side to side if you'd like. Inhale. And then exhale, curl the spine, press the palms forward. And two more times. Inhale, arms lift up. And exhale, palms press forward. One more time. Inhale, press the palms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, press those palms forward, stretch and engage through the arms, hug the chin towards the chest. And inhale, lengthen and lift up. Exhale, bend the elbows and bring the palms to the base of the skull. So we should feel a nice opening here through our pec muscles. Chin is welcome to start lifting up towards the ceiling. Nice opening through the front of the throat. And slowly exhale and release. Let the hands come down towards the mat. Let's inhale, reach the left arm up nice and high. Exhale, reach over towards your right. So the fingertips are spread nice and wide, bicep is hovering over the ear. You're welcome to drop down to that right forearm. Really nice side body stretch. And when you're ready, press and lift your weight back up through center. Left hand on the mat. Inhale, reach the right arm up forward. And exhale, reach over to the left. Fingertips spread nice and wide, really reaching through that right ring finger. And the left hand or left forearm is on the ground. And another deep breath in. And exhale, let's come back up through center and go to the other side. Stay on the fingertips here. Big inhale, left arm reaching up. And exhale, reach to the right. Let the upper body start to fold over the right thigh. Really reach through the left fingertips. Back of the neck is nice and long, gazing at the right knee. And let's come back through center. Left hand on the ground. Inhale, reach the right arm up nice and high. Exhale, reach to the left. Left fingertips stay on the ground. And fold the upper body over the left leg. Almost working your nose to the left knee. Back of the neck is nice and long. Reach through those right fingertips. Awesome. Exhale. Let's come back up through center. And now we'll take a spinal twist to the right and to the left. So let's start with a big inhale, reach up. And exhale, twist to the right. Left hand to the right knee. The right fingertips are just gently resting on the ground. Top of the head is lifting up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, twist. And come on back through center. Big inhale, reach the arms up nice and high. And on the exhale, twist. Now notice if something is feeling really tense or if you find yourself forcing something, use an inhale to lengthen up if you can. Twist on the exhale. And float your way right back through center. Let's hug the shoulders up to the ears and roll them back. And why don't we start bringing our hands in front of us and just slowly start creeping them forward. If you've got a pillow, you can always rest that underneath the tummy or the chest, or rest your forehead on it. If the forearms are on the ground, go ahead and do that. And just gaze kind of between the two elbows. Fingertips spread nice and wide. And slowly start to lift back up so the spine is nice and tall. And maybe bring the hands to the knees, and we'll take our right ear to our right shoulder. Gently tuck the chin a little bit here. And then move back up through center and take left ear, left shoulder. Gently tuck that chin. Of course, if anything is not feeling good for you, if there's any sort of pain, please modify. And know that you don't have to do what I'm saying if it's not feeling good. And let's come back up through center and drop the chin towards the chest. Lovely. Lift the head back up. And let's come into our child's pose. And again, in this pose, it's your decision whether you want it to be more active or more of a restorative pose. Flipping onto the tops of your feet, send those hips back towards the heels. And just notice how things are feeling. We want to let the heart fall down towards the mat for a more restorative pose. Spread the fingertips, but not really engaging through them, and let the elbows soften and rest on the mat. And allow your forehead to come into contact with something. And to engage a bit more, spread the fingertips. Maybe they reach forward about an inch. Press into the finger pads. Notice how the arms engage and the elbows start to lift up away from the mat. And with this, for me, I feel a bit of a deeper stretch. I'm sending my hips back towards my heels. And then we'll stay for 3 more breaths. So more of an active child's pose or more of a restorative one, you choose. Another full deep breath in. Long exhale out. Now let's press right up into tabletop. Walk the knees in a bit closer towards one another so they're just about right under the hips. Stay light in the elbows, light through the hands, and take some circles through the hips. And just moving so that it feels good, staying in any sort of spot that you'd like. And coming right back towards center. Spread the fingertips. The index fingers are facing forward. And you're pressing the earth away from you and the core is active. Go ahead and lift the right foot and send it to the back edge of the mat. Press through that heel. And then lift the left arm forward. So we're really pressing down through our left knee, left top of the foot, and through the right hand. Take a breath in, back of the neck nice and long. Exhale, curling your spine and work elbow towards knee. Keep pressing down through this right hand, squeeze in. Inhale, kick and lengthen out. Reach through the fingertips and through that heel. Use the core, go nice and slow. Exhale, bring an elbow towards knee. And again, inhale, reach and lengthen out. Exhale, hug the belly button towards the spine, elbow towards knee for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly let that go. Maybe a nice bend through that right elbow, through that right wrist. And just rock around a bit here for a minute. Coming back to your tabletop. Pressing the earth away from you, engage the core and the low abs. Lift the left foot and send it to the back edge of the mat. Flex the foot and really press through that left heel, like if this left foot was up against a wall and you are pressing against it. The leg is fully engaged. Gazing between the two hands, start to lift the right hand forward. Take a breath in. And exhale, work elbow towards knee. And just enjoying the process of working towards this and not so much rushing through it and thinking about the end goal. Inhale, kick and lengthen out. And exhale, curl your spine, elbow towards knee. Tuck the chin as you do this too. And inhale, reach and lengthen out. And exhale, float and bring that elbow towards knee, and we'll hold for 3, 2, and 1. Release, lower that right hand, maybe give that left elbow a bend, and that left wrist. Oh, okay. Let's slide our right foot forward. And before we adjust the back knee, we'll come into half camel. So bring a hand on either side of the right foot. And so we're not really melting into our hips for this pose. We're kind of pressing into the sole of the right foot and kind of lifting up through the core. And my back toes are tucked, and I'm going to start reaching this left hand and arm back towards my left ankle or my left calf. So if this doesn't feel good, maybe this is your camel pose. As we keep going, we lift the right arm towards the ceiling. And you're kind of just like exploring here. So the heart's opening, the back is getting this nice arch through it. Really press down through the sole of the right foot, another breath. And exhale, slowly lower both hands down on either side of that foot. And then from here, adjust that back knee and see if you can get more of a melt through the hips. And we'll twist to either side. Leave the left arm down and inhale, twist the right arm up to the ceiling. And exhale, lower down. And inhale, reach the left arm up. Nice stretch through the front of this left thigh. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, twist and reach that right arm up. And exhale, release. Last time here. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, lower down. Float back into your runner stretch. So have the hands on the ground. Start straightening this front leg. And flex the right toes towards the face. So the hips are now pressing to the back edge of the mat. And if the stretch is feeling too much in the hamstring, have a little bend through the right knee. Start to bend the right knee and bring the sole of the right foot to the ground. We're going to slide our right knee back and come back to tabletop. Actually, why don't we go right back into child's pose just for a breath or two. So drop the hips, drop the forehead, and drop the chest. Another deep breath in. Long, full exhale out. Lovely. Press your way right on back up to that tabletop position. Walk the knees in a bit closer towards one another. Slide the hands a bit towards the right and then slide that left foot forward. And then bring the left foot to the center of the mat and have a hand on either side of the left foot. So before we sink into the hips, keep pressing down through this right knee in the sole of the left foot. So we're a bit more lifted here to come into our half camel. So you can start with the hands on top of the left knee if you'd like. So kind of builds this as we go. So let's start here. My back toes are tucked. I'm really pressing down through this right knee. We kind of start to lean back a bit. So the heart is opening. Pressing to the sole of the left foot, and then to continue, this right arm will reach up and back. So depending how the shoulder's feeling, you can start to reach for the right ankle or calf. And then to continue more, this left arm can reach straight up, or maybe you keep going back so you're getting this glorious little back bend. Either let the head drop or keep the chin tucking in a bit towards the chest. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly and with control, bring the hands back down and start to adjust that back knee a bit. So now we're sinking a bit more into the hips for the twist. Leave the right hand down, big inhale, twist the left arm up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, right arm reaching. Exhale, lower down, your pace, your breath. Inhale, twist and reach. Reach through those fingertips. Exhale, lower down. Keep pressing in through this left foot. Inhale, twist and reach. And exhale, lower down. Both hands down on the ground. Start to shift the hips back, runner stretch. Flex the left toes towards the face. You can stay in a still spot, or you can kind of move around. So we're kind of twisting the upper body, feel some different sort of stretches. Start to bend the left knee, bring the left foot to the floor, and then in your way, slide back to child's pose. And relax the chest and forehead down. Nice deep breath in. Long exhale out. All right, creep those fingertips forward. Come into our downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, bend the knees, and lift. Downward facing dog, hands and feet are about hips width distance apart. Fingertips are spread nice and wide. Ground down through the finger pads. We don't want a lot of weight in the wrists. Engage through the arms. Let the head drop. And then stay fluid through the knees, through the elbows. So any movements or stretches. Sway the hips from side to side. And a modification of this could be lowering the forearms down for a dolphin pose. Heels are working their way down towards the ground. Now you're welcome to stay here. We will go into a three-legged dog. So we'll leave the right foot down. The chest will still be pressing back towards that right thigh, and the left leg will lift up. And from here, bend this left knee. So this left hip is now rotating over the right. So even that might feel a bit different. Work on keeping the shoulders squared. That left side isn't peeling open. And then from here, start to roll into the pinky side of that right foot. Drop the left toes. Anything that's in contact with the mat, press into it and lift. Hips press up. Arm and head drops back for a breath. And then as you exhale, come on back downward facing dog. So if you stayed in three-legged dog, go ahead and lower that top leg down. Bend the elbows, bend the knees, shake it out. And to the other side. So we'll leave this left foot down. Inhale, reach the right leg up towards the ceiling. So I'm still sending my chest back towards my left thigh. The left heel is still working its way down towards the ground. You can stay here. You can bend the right knee, start twisting, let this right hip almost roll over the left. Make sure this right shoulder isn't peeling open. And then from here, you can keep going, roll onto the pinky edge side of the left foot. The right ball of the foot comes to the floor. Press and lift, the hips lift towards the ceiling, and the right arm is just opening up and back. Everything's open. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, wherever you are, float your way back downward facing dog. Okay, let's start to walk our feet forward to the front of the mat for a forward fold. Feet are hips width distance apart and they are parallel. Grab opposite elbows and we'll come into ragdoll. Bend the knees. Maybe you stay still or you shake from side to side. Gently bring the hands to the floor. We'll inhale to a halfway lift. Breathe in, hands to the shins. The spine is nice and flat, the back of the neck is long, and there is space between the shoulders and the ears. Knees are still softly bent. Exhale, fold forward. 2 more times. Inhale, lift halfway. Really press through the feet, let the heart pull forward. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway, hug the belly button towards the spine, heart lifts. Exhale, fold. Let the head relax. Inhale, press through the feet, rise all the way up to stand. Going to bring the arms up overhead, sweep the arms up. Maybe you gaze up and we'll fold forward, or you're welcome to Swan Dive. So for that, the hands go out to the right and the left. The heart leads the way, spine stays nice and flat, and fold. Go into a modified airplane from here. Leave the right foot down. Hands are on the ground, and let's lift this left foot up and back. So this left leg is almost just how it was like in our tabletop. So you're pressing through the heel. And the arms are on the ground and the chest is lifted, back of the neck nice and long. This is a modified airplane, and to continue, the arms reach up and lift back and the chest is kind of lifting too. Shoulders are wrapping around the spine. Then bring the hands back down to that modified airplane. Bend the right knee and let's step this left foot back. Leave the hands on the mat. Start to straighten this front leg, so we're almost in a wide pyramid pose. Fold over the right thigh. So my left foot, my left toes are angled up at the top left-hand corner of my mat. If this stretches too much, step the back foot up and out a bit. And fold in the upper body. Press into the feet. We'll come up to warrior one. So we're going to start bending in our front leg. We don't really have to adjust the feet too much. If you're feeling like you want to widen your stance for some more balance, walk this right foot out to the edge a bit. Straightening through this back leg, engaging through it, and we're really grounding down. And before we lift the arms up, you're welcome to clasp the hands at the low back, squeeze the palms together, press the knuckles almost down towards the ground. So if this doesn't feel okay, option for like a yoga strap if you have one, that can help open the shoulders. Pressing through the feet, and then gently releasing. Let's lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Biceps are by the ears and we're reaching through the fingers. On your inhale, reach up and maybe lean back. And then as you exhale, bring both hands down to the inside of the right foot, roll onto the ball of the back foot. And maybe move that left foot back a bit, and we'll take an inhale and twist the right arm up. And then exhale, lower down. Right hand is on the outside of the right foot and sweep the left arm up. And exhale, lower down. Drop the back knee. And let's send this right knee back. Come into child's pose. Take a full breath. And a slow exhale out. And when you're ready, fingertips creep forward. And let's lift the hips up, downward facing dog. And then bring the gaze towards the hands and start walking the feet forward. And we will inhale, lift halfway, bring the hands to the shins, straighten through the spine. Exhale and fold. We're going to rise all the way up, press through the feet, inhale, chin is tucking towards the chest. And let the arms come up, standing up nice and tall. And then fold forward or swan dive. Soft bend through the knees, hinge at the hips. And inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold it forward. Modified airplane on the other side. So let's move the left foot down. Hands stay on the mat. To start and kick the right foot back and up. Press through this right heel. We're already engaging through the core, and our gaze is just right down at the floor in front of us. Soft bend through the standing knee. You either stay or start to lift the arms up and back and notice how that feels. So we have this opening through the heart. Back of the neck is nice and long. Legs are active. And then bring the hands back down for that modified airplane. And start bending through the front knee and bring the right foot down towards the mat. Right toes are angled up at the top right-hand corner of the mat. Hands are on the mat for support. We're kind of straightening through our front leg, folding over the left thigh. This is too much. Bend the knee, come onto the back tippy toes, or shorten the stance. And from here, we'll find our warrior one. So I like to widen my stance a bit for that. The left toes face directly forward. You want the left knee right over the ankle. Working on straightening through this back leg. Make sure you can see your toes on that left foot. And then from here, if you'd like for a nice little shoulder opening, interlace the hands at the low back, squeeze the palms together, and press the knuckles down and back. And really feel your feet. Nice and strong through the legs. And gently let the fingertips go and float the arms up. Warrior one. Keeping a nice steady breath, focusing on something in front of you that is still. Next, inhale, take a breath in, reach up and maybe lean back. And then we'll exhale, lower the arms down to the floor. Come onto the ball of this right foot and leave the right hand down, turn and twist the left arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, lower that left hand down. Inhale, twist the right arm up. And exhale, lower down. Drop the right knee down to the floor. And let's come back, child's pose. Stay here for 2 breaths. And start to lift up, and we will come back to, I think, our last downward facing dog. Bend the knees. Let's inhale to a high plank. Use the core, back of the neck is nice and long. Press the earth away from you so the shoulders are right over the wrists. And drop your knees down. Keep the elbows nice and soft. And sink the hips down, flip onto the tops of your feet. Feel a nice opening through the front body. And maybe twisting from side to side. And then gazing straight ahead, start bending the elbows back and lower your right cheek down. Keep the elbows bent. Walk these hands forward so the hands are just about right underneath the shoulders. Bring the feet maybe about hips width distance apart or a little bit closer. Turn your forehead or chin towards the mat. You can inhale and lift up. Press into the tops of the feet. Press into the fingertips. Elbows are squeezing in towards the ribs and the heart is lifting. And we're light through the glutes. Lots of back muscles here. And on the next exhale, release, lower down. Let the left cheek rest. Stay here for one breath. And turn your chin or forehead to the mat. Inhale and lift again. Keeping with a nice steady breath for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release, lower down. Reach the arms out in the T position. Bend your knees and kick your heels to your glutes. And then let them rock from side to side. All right. Go ahead and release the legs, bring them flat to the floor. Bend your elbows and put your forearms on the ground so the elbows are right underneath the shoulders for Sphinx pose. And just gaze straight ahead. All right. From here, let's tuck the toes under. And we'll come into just a short forearm plank. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Let's just do some knee taps to activate the core for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees down and sink the hips. Another Sphinx pose, maybe you rock from side to side. And then tuck the toes under. Let's shift ourselves back and sit the hips on the heels. So come into a nice hero's pose so the spine is lengthening up towards the ceiling. And another deep breath in through the nose. And a long exhale out. And then from here, find your way onto your bottom and we'll come into some seated forward folds. Flex those feet. On the inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, reach for the feet. Work on keeping the spine kind of lengthening and reaching, so almost like your heart is leading the way as you reach. And we'll lift and come into a seated tree pose. So I like kicking my left foot out towards the top left-hand corner of my mat, bending that right knee, right sole of the foot, in towards the left thigh. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, reach for the left foot. And soften a bit through the belly. And then start lifting up, but leave the legs just as they are and go right into a twist. So this right hand kind of comes behind you a bit, lengthen that spine up, left hand to the right knee, breath in as you lengthen, and then as you exhale, twist. And come right back on through center and switch sides. Inhale, reach. And exhale, fold. Let the back of the neck be long. And then start to lift the body back up. We'll float right into that twist. As you inhale, reach and lengthen up, right hand to the left knee. And exhale, twist. Awesome. Right back towards center. And keep both legs out nice and long. And let's lower down onto our backs. Ooh, why don't we squeeze the knees into the chest? Wrap the arms around the shins. Press the low back down into the mat. And then keep the right knee hugging in and extend the left leg down on the mat. We'll come right into a spinal twist. Let the right knee come up and over, roll onto the side of that left leg. Work on keeping both shoulders grounded down on the floor. And come back towards center. And then optional, hug both knees back in towards the chest. Squeeze at the shins, press the low back down. Keep the left knee squeezing into the left shoulder and extend through the right leg. And on your exhale, guide the left leg up and over. Roll onto the outer edge of the right leg. Gazing either up at the ceiling or for another sort of stretch, you can gaze over your left shoulder with the arm extended out. And then come back towards center. If there's any final poses you like to take, happy baby or fish pose or waterfall, lifting the legs straight up towards the ceiling, go ahead and do that. And we will come into our final resting pose. So find a comfortable position and kind of limit any distractions that may be happening. And close the eyes down. And relax fully and melt into the mat. We'll stay here for a moment. And bring some gentle movements through the fingers and the toes. An option to come back towards that breath that we started with. Deep breaths in through the nose for a count of 4. Holding at the top and then a slow exhale out through the mouth. holding for a moment before that next inhale. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, let it go. Let's go ahead and hug our knees into our chest, and we'll find our way up to a comfortable seated position. Rock yourself front to back, and we'll meet sitting cross-legged. I think the dog is waking up from a dream. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's inhale and reach the arms up nice and high towards the ceiling. Bring the palms together and exhale, hands to the center of your heart. And pause here for a moment. Show yourself gratitude for showing up and practicing. Hopefully you all feel great. Thank you for joining. Let's take a breath in. And a big exhale out. Namaste. Thank you for joining. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be teaching again next week. And then the week after that, which I believe is June 15th and 16th. And then it's over until the fall. So let me know if you have any questions, and thanks so much for joining.